3 of the physics of green energy. I'm Professor Plonski. How do I look? Do I look ready? Do I look intelligent? The title of part 3 is Fuel Cell. And this is a model of a fuel cell. Now, fuel cells can come in many sizes. They can be as big as a table. This one is for learning. Look here, and I will show you how a fuel cell can be used to make electricity. This is about making clean energy with no pollution. Electricity that can be made from just air and water. Now, if you go and tell your mother that you saw Professor Plonski make electricity from water, she's going to think you were kidding. But here we go. Everybody needs air, and everybody knows that air has oxygen, because all over the world, people breathe oxygen. Water is made of 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. That's why fish can breathe in the water. They use gills to remove that 1 little oxygen from H2O. Now, if you can put a jolt of electricity through water, you can separate those 2 hydrogens from the oxygen. And that is called electrolysis. Now, when you get that oxygen, you can save it for things, or you can just let it go. It's good for breathing. Well, what you want for the fuel cell is those 2 hydrogens, because those 2 hydrogen molecules, when they pass back through the fuel cell, they will be looking for air, trying to find the oxygen in air. And the force of those hydrogen molecules looking for oxygen is an energy that the fuel cell can capture and convert into electricity. Please look back here at the models on the table. This is the fuel cell I showed you. And here I have a fuel cell which is already connected to the hydrogen and oxygen chambers. If you look closely, you can see that this tube leads to the hydrogen chamber, which is bigger than the oxygen chamber. Can you think of why? Aha! You just remembered from the slideshow. There are twice as many hydrogens as oxygen in water. I'm going to attach this fuel cell to my little electric car. I put the 2 chambers down inside the housing. You have to notice that they are open on the bottom, so that water and gases can pass through. And I put the fuel cell down inside the car. As you see, there are 2 cables coming from the little electric motor. So you can create a complete electrical circuit like we did in part 1, electricity. But first, we have to get the fuel cell ready to make electricity. And to do that, we need water. I will fill the housing all around the 2 chambers with water. Now, as you saw in the slideshow, we need a jolt of electricity to turn that water into hydrogen and oxygen. So please go back to the other table. Let's look at my electrical circuit. Here's a battery pack, and here are the positive and negative cables. The battery goes here from coil all the way through the battery to the electric contact, all the way through the next coil, up through the second battery to the electric contact, and all the way through the positive cable. Whatever is connected here between the positive and negative cables will get a jolt of electricity, so long as the electricity can continue on its complete electrical circuit. I'm going to use this battery pack with regular batteries. Just like we did in part 1. But I'm not going to connect a light bulb. I'm going to connect it to the fuel cell. And as you can see, there is an electric current already passing through the fuel cell, which is causing changes in the water. And that's why there are bubbles rising up. But that's going to take a little while, so let's go look at something else. Okay. The water level in the chamber has risen back up. The water level in the tank has risen because the two inner chambers have filled with gases. So now I simply disconnect the battery pack. And now I will connect the electric motor. Where are you going? Come back. And for as long as you have hydrogen, that fuel cell will continue to make electricity for the electric motor. But of course, you guys understand that if I were to disconnect the electric motor, I could use the electricity in that fuel cell to power all kinds of things. And you guys also learned that batteries are not the best way to store or to make electricity. Can you think of something else that we could use to make the electrolysis in the fuel cell? Is there anything you might remember? That's right, solar panels. And I have a solar panel right here. Let's go outside and see if a solar panel can work instead of batteries to turn water into hydrogen and oxygen.